Hello again, boys and girls. I hope you had fun with the paper clips measuring the distance around the shapes perimeter. Okay, now we're going to do religion. Yesterday you heard the story of Pentecost, when Jesus, he had promised the apostles that he would send them a sign, a gift. And they were very curious, and they waited and waited, and then it came upon them when they were up in the room praying, and Mary was there, and there was like a wind sound, and then they noticed they all had flames over their head. And what was that? Was Jesus trying to set them on fire? No. He promised he'd send a sign. He sent a gift. He sent the gift of the Holy Spirit. And what did that special gift enable them to do? Right? They started speaking in languages they'd never known before. Why do you suppose Jesus or God gave them that power? Right. Because he gave them a special job to do before he ascended into heaven. Right? He said, go out and continue gathering people and teaching all about God's love, just the way I taught all of you. And this special gift of the Holy Spirit gave them, empowered them. It was a miracle that they could speak these languages they never spoke before. They could speak to people from all around the world. And Jesus timed it perfectly, right? Because many people were in Jerusalem for the Feast of Pentecost, which was the Jewish harvest celebration, their Thanksgiving time. And Jesus knew that there would be people from all different lands that spoke all different languages. So he gave the apostles the power to do that, to teach all about God's love to everybody. And many people were baptized, right? Like 3,000 people were baptized. They became followers of Jesus because the Holy Spirit guided the apostles in doing Jesus' work, and they could talk to all of them. Okay, it also gave them the confidence that they needed, right? They were nervous. They were scared. They didn't want to let Jesus down. So they were filled with the Holy Spirit, and they went forth and did like Jesus asked them. And do you remember who I told you before Jesus ascended to heaven? Which apostle in particular? He was asking like to take on a really important job to watch over his sheep, right? Meaning watch over all of the people and care for them, right? Peter, who is now called Saint Peter the Apostle. And he is also referred to as the Rock, the founder of the church. Now back then they didn't have church buildings yet, because Catholic churches have Christians, and Christians are all followers of Jesus. So Peter is known as the Rock because he started the church, meaning the people of Jesus, the Christians. We are the church. So a church doesn't always have to be a building. So we're going to hear a little more from the Bible now, what else the apostles did with this wonderful gift of the Holy Spirit. The first church. The believers studied with the apostles, so these new followers. They learned many things about God and God's plan. They prayed together. And remember, Jesus taught people how to pray, too. They sang songs and praise of God, right? So this sounds very similar to what we do together in the church building, right? They ate meals and celebrated the Lord's Supper. They shared everything they had with each other. God added more and more believers to the church every day. So the apostles were really doing their job. Gathering more people, gathering more followers and believers. One day, Peter and John were walking to the temple. They saw a man who could not walk. He had not been able to walk his whole life, and the man was begging for money. Peter told him, "We have no silver or gold, but we will give you what we do have. In Jesus' name, stand up and walk." Do you think he could do it? Let's see. Immediately the man jumped up. His legs were strong. He began walking and leaping and praising God. All the people who saw him were amazed. Peter told the people, "We did not make him walk. Jesus did." Many more people believed in Jesus that day. So Jesus is helping them from above, the power of the Holy Spirit, and they're gaining more followers. Okay, so you have this paper already. Okay, and who do you think that is? I think you're probably right. I think it's St. Peter. After the apostles had received the Holy Spirit, they went forth to all lands to preach the gospel. The gospel is the way of Jesus and all Jesus' stories. You hear when we go to Mass, the priest reads the gospel and he says the gospel of the Lord, meaning the stories of Jesus, the good news about Jesus. And that's what the apostles have to do. They have to go out and spread the good news about Jesus and gain more followers. And as you can see, when we go to church, the church is pretty full, right? So the apostles did a great job all those years gathering followers of Jesus, and we now refer to ourselves as Christians. We are also his disciples, meaning we're his followers. So, you color St. Peter, gathering and teaching people, just the way Jesus did. All right, I'll see you in a little while for science.